Well, when you say you're from Louisville, it certainly means something, right? There is a sense of pride in the Derby City that can be felt radiating from those people who call it home.
Yeah, that's the idea behind a set of banners up around the city. Wave 3 News reporter Janelle McDonald with more tonight on how those actually come about.
You've probably seen them. They're really hard to miss. The famous faces with the slogan, so-and-so's Louisville or Kentucky's fill in the blank. Have you ever wondered how they picked them or where they come from? I got the inside scoop on these signs that have become a part of the fabric of our very special community. Zoe Kuhn's talents are diverse.
I do acting and dancing classes.
Her 12-year-old motivation, simple.
Also, I like being on stage and sort of being the center of attention.
And her heroes, about what you'd expect.
Jennifer Lawrence is a very influential actress, and it's really special and cool to me that she's from my hometown, Louisville.
That's from a letter.
So I'm just putting it out there. It would be so cool.
That Zoe wrote to the Louisville Pride Foundation, the brains behind the Hometown Heroes banners. Zoe wants Jennifer Lawrence to join the famous faces peering out around town.
Somewhere where a lot of people would see it, because I think she's very important.
Mike Sheehy heads up Louisville Pride, which started with a meeting and a brainstorm about Louisville's most famous face.
Our goal was just to put Muhammad Ali up. So we did that in 2002.
That was supposed to be it. Then the Louisville Slugger Museum asked about putting up one for Pee Wee Reese, and the idea took off.
Originally, we were just going to do sports figures, and then we started thinking, Ed Hamilton, the sculptor, came up like, we got a lot broader, talent in this market.
Now there are business leaders, bourbon pioneer George Garvin Brown, inspirational figures, Patrick Henry Hughes, and lesser-known heroes, like this May 2013 edition of Rudell Stitch.
It was back in the summer 1958.
He was a top welterweight boxer in the 50s whose life was cut short when he drowned trying to save a friend.
You've got these sort of unknowns, which is neat. It's more of an educational thing, and then you've got the obvious ones.
Sheehy says they all got there the same way. Louisville Pride gets a nomination for a banner, and then the group discusses it. If approved, it's up to whoever sent in the nomination to raise enough money to pay for it. How much?
That's the question I always get. It all depends on the scale.
Anywhere from $5,000 to $60,000 for the really big ones.
The installation is really, for those big ones, is what's expensive, because you've got to rent a crane and you have closed streets.
Over the years, the banners have changed.
The only other one we replaced was Ali, because we had to move it from the original spot where the Yum Center is now.
One has faded.
The only one that's really I'd like to replace is the Kentucky Derby one. That was the only one we did in full color, and it's starting to fade pretty bad.
Some of the images have to be switched up to work large scale, like Pat Day's iconic Derby pose.
We had to bring him in the studio and reshoot that pose where he's standing with his hands up. So we had to get the hat that he wore. We got the silks, shot it in the studio. Nobody could tell the difference. I flip-flopped Denny's picture so he was facing the Yum Center, and didn't realize it, but I started getting calls about that his part was on the wrong side of his head.
Each one, though, has a single goal.
What other way or better way to say how proud of you of your community than of its citizens?
Which brings us back to Zoe Kuhn and her favorite Louisvillian, Jennifer Lawrence, showing us that big dreams are born right here in Louisville.
She kind of shows people that, even if they're from a small town, they can still follow their dreams.
Good news for Zoe. Lawrence is among the list of people who have been approved but are just waiting for funding and a place to put their banners. Zoe thinks she might do bake sales and car washes to help raise money for the Lawrence banner. The next one to go up, though, will be former NFL star Will Wolford, who is now coaching St. X football in his hometown. Janelle McDonald, Wave 3 News.
Yeah. I like the idea of a Jennifer Lawrence banner, but you can find a slideshow of all the heroes, a map to where they are right now, and also a poll who you think should appear on the next banner. Find it at wave3.com.